can you play Seinfeld's video I sent you of his speech? I just love what he says here. You know, one of my favorite things, I used to tell Mario, I'm like, Mario, I think we probably interviewed more 80-year-olds than anybody else has. There's something special about talking to people that are older, that they give you something and they make things so simple that maybe you can't do, you definitely can't do in your 20s and 30s. You sometimes flirt with it in your 30s and your 40s and 50s. I'm not 50, so I couldn't tell you. But look how this guy describes one thing here that Professor Galloway shared. Go for it.
Reach across a couple generations here to tell you the most important thing I am confident that I know about life. I'm 70. I'm done. You are just starting. I only want to help you. The slightly uncomfortable feeling of awkward humor is okay. It's not something you need to fix. I totally admire the ambitions of your generation to create a more just and inclusive society. I think it is also wonderful that you care so much about not hurting other people's feelings. In the million and one ways, we all do that every second of every day. It's lovely to want to fix those things, but, all caps, but, what I need to tell you as a comedian, do not lose your sense of humor. You can have no idea at this point in your life how much you are going to need it to get through. Not enough of life makes sense for you to be able to survive it without humor. And I know all of you here are going to use all of your brains and muscle and soul to improve the world, and I know you're going to do a bang-up job. And when you're done, as I am now, I bet the world, because of you, will be a much better place. But it will still not make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
He's right.
It'll be a better, different, but still pretty insane mess. And it is worth the sacrifice of an occasional discomfort to have some laughs. Don't lose that.
By the way, you can't stop
even
it
if
right
it's at the cost of...
It's so true, though. Like, you know, comedy, man, plays such a big role to lower the temperature on everything that we're going through. Like, for example, Brady's roast.
Yes. So good.
Some of these things, like, for me, Dylan, he's a comedy guy. Tico wants to watch freaking Shining. You know, we're staying at a hotel the other day, PGA National, what is it called? National Tour Hotel, whatever it's called. He says, Dad, this floor reminds me of The Shining. Oh, God. I said, why would you say that before we're about to go to sleep? It's 11 o'clock. No, but look at the hallway. It's like The Shining.
Bro, he's crazy.
Right? He wants to watch The Shining at 11 o'clock.
Mark my words, he's going to be a writer, director for horror movies.
Yeah, he loves it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely loves it. But Dylan likes comedy. Dylan watched Couples Retreat. I don't know if it's appropriate to let your sons watch Couple Retreat.
They're going to watch it at some point. He's going to watch it.
Dylan just sits there and
dies laughing.
I think humor is necessary, though. Adam, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Well, right after he gave that speech, in the middle of it, there was like a few dozen Gays for Gaza protesters that stormed off. The media put it. It was sort of trickled off. And in just Jerry Seinfeld fashion, he's just like, what's the deal with all these protesters? I mean, come on. And Jerry Seinfeld, if you know anything about Seinfeld, it's so funny. He's on the back nine of life right now. He's 70.
You don't think he's going to live to 150?
I think Seinfeld's going to make it to 100 because just he's got satire in those genes. But, you know, we know about Curb Your Enthusiasm. We know about Kramer. We know about Costanza. Veep with Elaine Bennis, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It's all because of Seinfeld. Larry David, Seinfeld. And he's the least controversial, never curses, vanilla, best comedian ever. So, I mean, you could put Chappelle up there. You could put Pryor up there. There's a lot of names. They all curse. He does zero cursing. His whole element was coffee and cars with comedians. You know about this, Vinny, as a comedian. But it's so interesting to see him giving commencement speeches, taking a stance on something. He was just on Bill Maher talking politics, which he never does. But that's sort of like, all right, I kind of got to stand for something or I'll fall for anything. And he's absolutely right. Gen Z, unfortunately, because of helicopter parenting and participation trophies, are the least funniest, most emotional, most offended, embracing cancel culture generation ever. And it takes someone like Seinfeld to get up there and be like, take a joke, guys. Yeah. Relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of them can't.
Vinny, thoughts?
No, I think, that we have 5 senses, but notice how every time nobody ever talks about this. When you say, hey, you got a sense of humor, that's a 6, that's not on the chart. To have that sense of humor, to not take everything serious, to laugh, because there's so much. I mean, look at me, I get angry and I get emotional because I genuinely, truly care, and I am an angry patriot, and I love this country, and I'm willing to I would rather die free than live as a slave. I'm trying to do
for
anything.
Good reason.
Yeah, to wake everybody up. At the same token, laugh, and I think we need to laugh. I mean, I keep the serious moments for the seriousness, but to like relax for a second and enjoy each other's company and take the lighter side of things, I think it's hugely important.
Yeah, I agree.
And by the way, Rob, I mean, we know that Marissa Tomei's got a thing for short, funny, bald guys. And that was your market right there. That's why you're a big Seinfeld fan.
I am, and I think he's one of the. What a shame for the students that walked out and missed that part of the speech.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I mean, the odds that you get a celebrity like that, somebody that's well informed, well read, and he is the most profitable comedian of all time.
Yeah,
billion
because of Seinfeld, more than Chappelle, more than Chris Rock, more than any of those guys. That guy has made the most amount of money, launched the most amount of careers in television, and you walk out.
What do you mean he launched the most careers
Well,
on
look
television?
at all the spin-offs for the TV shows. With outside of Michael Richards, everybody else on that show went on to stardom outside of him. George, the guy that played George Costanza, went into movies and other TV shows. The girl that played Elaine, also on other TV shows. Then you look at the spin-off characters that were on that show and got other TV shows.
Wow.
Like
Newman,
the guy, Newman, but even
Jurassic
look at
Park, everything he did
Bryan
with him.
Cranston was a role player on that.
Cranston.
Went into
freaking
Breaking Bad.
Bad.
Can you pull it up, his role on
Bryan
Seinfeld?
Cranston, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He was the doctor. What was the dentist? What
Yes.
was
He
the
was the dentist.
anti-dentite?
Yeah.
Is it, everybody,
five Emmys in a row for
everybody
Bryan
went through that show. Look at him.
Get
hair.
out of here.
Yeah.
It looks like a freaking
quiet.
soap opera porn star. Look at that
He
guy.
does look like a soap opera porn star.
And what was his name on the show?
Tim
Watley. Watley.
Watley.
Yeah, I mean, and
Dude,
Seinfeld
stud.
is literally a billionaire. Pull up his net worth.
Yeah,
I guarantee he's a billionaire.
He has to be a billionaire.
700 billion? Or
No, I think
I'm going Billy.
when they sold, where's he at? $1 billion.
Yeah, and he is a guy who just stands true. He's a comedian. When he went on Bill Maher, he goes, I just can't be around people that aren't working. I need to be working. If you're not working, what are you doing? This guy could be retired doing nothing, but he still wants to work.
Yeah.
And that's what you talk about. There's always levels to this thing, and he could be retired doing nothing. But
Is he in the
still
argument of
on
GOAT
stage.
or no?
No,
Not
He's
comedy yet.
He's 100% in the conversation. He's out on Mount Rushmore. I don't know if anybody has him as number one. I mean, but he's in the conversation.
George,
no doubt.
George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor,
Chappelle.
Oh my God, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I mean, I put him in maybe in the top 10, but and again,
Seinfeld's a top 5 guy.
Again, comedy is subject. It's what cup of tea. But I'm talking about like the world.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is really
If you ask
up
the
there.
boomers, he's up there. If you ask
of
Gen
course.
Z, who doesn't have a sense of humor, he's not on the list.
Economically, he's on Mount Rushmore, but the art of comedy, it's these other names he mentioned.
Here's what I want to tell you. The announcement is both Dave Smith and Chris Cuomo have agreed to a debate.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
May 31st, Friday night, 6 to 9 p.m.
Friday night fights.
To 9 p.m.
That is sick.
Okay? 6 to 9 p.m.
Wow.
It's official. It'll be at our comedy club that we have, 5990 Live. And this is going to be what the people want. The people from the establishment who don't want to see this conversation take place, they're going to do everything in their power to prevent this from taking place.
Fauci being one of them.
Whoever it is.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching. Within seconds of making this announcement, I guarantee you messages are being sent saying, are you out of your flipping mind? For those of you guys that haven't yet registered for this, just go to 5990 Live, buy a ticket. VIP sell out ASAP, and then it'll be about 185 to 190 tickets. VIPs will have cigars with us afterwards. But looking forward to this.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.